Greetings! Welcome to Sunday Morning Announcements with the Jocelyn Gray Avatar. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you're with us on Zoom, say hi in the chat. We'd love to say hello back. If you're with us in person, hello everybody here! And if this is your first visit, please sign the guest book either in the lobby or online at oakcliffuu.org/guest. A reminder! Every Sunday morning at 9:30, one of our board members is available to answer your questions about the church. We hope you take advantage of this opportunity either in person or online via Zoom. Today, Sarah Ricke will be presenting a special interactive service featuring a number of famous UUs. After brief introductions to these figures, Sarah will pose two questions. What were their missions? What will be ours? We will then talk about the different missions, how we relate to them, and what we feel we should focus on moving forward. We hope you can stick around after the service today for Talkback, where we gather in a circle and discuss the service and related topics. For those online, see the Zoom chat at the end of the service for the meeting information. We have an important update on two of our regular meetings. Our coordinating council will now be meeting twice a month, on the first and third Sundays, in the times previously used for the worship ministry meetings. Note that the planning activities of the worship ministry will be incorporated within these expanded CC meetings. Anyone interested in helping plan what is going on here in the church is welcome to attend in person in the Charity North meeting room or on Zoom. The first of these new CC meetings will be today at 1 p.m. Note that our pledge drive continues. Our target is $7,000 monthly in pledges to support our congregation, and a number of you have already made your pledges, for which we have to say thank you. Your commitment will make a meaningful difference and ensure the sustainability of our programs and services. If you haven't made your pledge, please join us in this collective effort by pledging today. Just go to oakcliffuu.org/pledge2024 or scan this QR code. And keep watching your eBlast newsletter for more info on all this and more. Not receiving the eBlast? Just sign up at oakcliffuu.org/enews. It's that easy. Have you signed up but still aren't getting the eBlast? As our tech guy Scott says, don't forget to check your spam folder and make sure that news@oakcliffuu.org is in your contacts. But wait, there's one more thing. We have a member anniversary to celebrate. Alex Kennedy joined us on June 11th, 2020. That's it for now. I hope you all have a great week.
The Work of the Congregation by Crystal Hogan. We light this chalice to honor our work, to celebrate our community, and to bring hope and determination to our mission in the wider world. Spirit of Life, Be Present with Us by Kathy A. Huff. Spirit of Life, be present with us in this hour. Join us today as we gather in a wider search for truth and purpose. In this quest, may we greet one another with open hearts and minds. May we inspire each other to consider new questions and seek deeper meaning. And may we cultivate wisdom and compassion. Let all who enter this sanctuary see a welcome face, hear a kind word, and find comfort in this community. And may all that is done and said here today be in service to love and justice.
Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yes. worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come.
In our community, we take time each week to share what is in our hearts and on our minds. If your heart is heavy today, know that you don't have to carry that heartache alone. Together, we can offer comfort. Please share your sorrows publicly by posting them in the Zoom chat or send them to our Facebook Messenger or speak them aloud.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, knowing that joy calls unto joy amplified. Together, our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. Please share your joys publicly by posting them to the Zoom chat or send them to our Facebook Messenger or speak them aloud. Welcome. Welcome to the UU Church of Oak Cliff. Here we seek to build a community where what you believe is less important than how your beliefs guide and inform your participation in the world. Ours is a community that strives to value the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. To our returning visitors, we are so happy you have joined us again. We know your time is precious, and we're honored to have you here today. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to any who are joining us for the first time. We recognize the bravery it takes to come into a new place, and we're glad you're here. Ours is a covenantal church. Latin for come together. Covenant means a solemn agreement or promise from the heart regarding a course of action between parties. The practice of promising to walk together is the core of our faith. Simply put, it is a guide for the behavior we expect from ourselves and each other. We are bound together by the promises we make to one another, and we recite our covenant during every worship service. Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance in service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together. Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honoramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y aceptación. Así que hacemos pacto.
Good morning, everybody. So today is not going to be your normal sermon. So, as you know, we're changing up the schedule of worship service just a little bit. And so today, I'm not going to be up here preaching about any particular subject. Today, we're going to do an impromptu RE, religious exploration, right here in service. So Johnny, will you help me, please? I encourage everyone on both sides to get into like a small group real quick. Circle yourselves. If you could just pass one packet of pamphlet to each group, please, Johnny. So, today, this month, actually, my bad. This month, our worship topic is mission. Our worship topic is mission. I'm going to give you all a moment. All right, so this month here at UUCOC, our worship topic is mission. So what is our mission? What is our purpose? But how do we figure that out? That's the question. Because there are so many things that we could devote ourselves to. So today, I wanted to introduce to you 6 UUs that I think had wonderful missions. And they're pretty different. So you will find on your papers a little bio about 6 different Unitarian Universalists from history. So we have Ethelred Brown, and he was the first Black Unitarian minister here in the United States of America. He was born in Jamaica. He moved to New York, and he was part of the Harlem Renaissance. And he devoted his time both in the U.S. and in Jamaica to improving life for Black Americans and Black Jamaicans. And for this, he was very devoted, especially to workers' rights. He wanted better pay. He wanted better working conditions. He wanted more freedom of religion. He actually created the first Unitarian church in Jamaica. We have Dorothea Dix. Not Dorothy Dix, Dorothea Dix. And so Dorothea Dix was from Maine, although she was raised in Boston. And she advocated a lot in her life, especially for healthcare reform, especially for mental healthcare reform. So when Dorothea Dix was growing up, mental health in the United States, or around the world really, was pretty awful. If you had the money, you could afford things like good doctors and special retreats. But for the regular people, if you had mental health problems, you were just stuck in an asylum or a jail. And conditions were terrible. And Dix actually gave very passionate testimonials about the conditions of patients. And she advocated against horrible treatments that they suffered, things like caging or painful restraints or even nude incarceration. Patients were essentially tortured during her time. And she was rich enough to escape that fate. But she had her own mental health problems, and she saw what was happening to people who didn't have her resources. She spent her life advocating for compassionate care. She also, because she was barred from giving these testimonials in politics at the time because she was a woman, she advocated for women's suffrage, the women's right to vote, and for women's education, because she, again, was barred from higher secondary education as a woman during her time. We've got Frances Harper, and she was the first African-American woman in the U.S. to publish a short story. She actually published several books, essays, and poems during her lifetime. So she was not born a slave, but she was born in Maryland right before Maryland passed a law that said any free black who entered the state would be enslaved. So she had left at the time for work when Maryland passed this law, and when they passed this law, it meant she could not go home. And so she dedicated herself to the abolitionist movement, and then later, after the Civil War, she dedicated herself to women's suffrage, especially emphasizing that women's suffrage wouldn't get anywhere without including Black Americans and Black American women. And she actually helped found the National Association for Colored Women's Clubs. We've got Beatrix Potter. Did you know she was a Unitarian? So Beatrix Potter, we all know her as the famous children's book author, right? We all love Peter Rabbit. But that's not all she did. Her first claim to fame was actually in the scientific field of botany. Yeah, botany. So Beatrix Potter came from a wealthy middle-class family. She was very well educated by private tutors and governesses. And so while she was not allowed, again, as a woman, to attend higher education, she was extensively tutored in the sciences. As a matter of fact, remember, we know her as an illustrator and an author, right? Her first claim to fame was actually very detailed watercolors of fungi. So her watercolors of mushrooms and fungi were so accurate that they are still used today to identify samples. Unfortunately, for Beatrix Potter, she wasn't able to go beyond illustration, because although she studied mushrooms and fungi, she actually wrote a paper and presented it on mycology, because at the time, mushrooms were considered to be self-germinating. I mean, help me out here. Thank you. Spontaneous generation. Mushrooms at the time were under the theory of spontaneous generation. Thank you, Ian. Where they just randomly reproduced themselves. And she actually studied them enough to put forth a paper on the theory that no, there was actual germination in spores. And she actually had watercolors of microscopic detail of those spores. And she presented this paper to the Scientific Society in Britain. But then she was told she wasn't going to be allowed to present it herself because she was a woman. And she wasn't going to be allowed to be part of the discussions of the paper. She wouldn't be allowed to present it, or discuss it, or defend it. And so eventually she withdrew the paper. And her studies and her writing are only just now being reevaluated. And that's not all she did. Because of her dedication to botany and sciences, she was also a proud conservationist. So we all know that the U.S. was the first country to have national parks. But England followed shortly after. And not the first national park of England, but the second one, the Lake District National Park of England. was formed because of all of the land that she bought and conserved during her lifetime. At her death, she left it to the National Trust because she wanted to preserve the unique landscape and charm and flora and fauna of the area. So in addition to her children's books and her work for women's education and children's education, she was a scientist and she was a conservationist, and she dedicated her life to those subjects. The next person we have is Robin Tanner. She's actually still alive today. She's not dead. She's currently the minister at Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Summit, New Jersey. And she is a very active activist. She's very active in activism. That's always fun to say. So, she married her wife in 2014, a year before it was legal across the United States. And she was actually part of the lawsuit proposed by the United Church of Christ in 2014 that argued that prohibitions against clergy marrying same-sex marriages violated their freedom of religion. And that lawsuit was successful and helped the eventual legalization across the United States of same-sex marriage. She's also advocated against laws that hurt transgender people. So she in 2016, she helped repeal a law in North Carolina that was banning transgender people from bathrooms. If you remember that horrible cycle where they were always going after transgender people just like they're going after drag queens now. She advocated against those laws. And in 2017, she also advocated for health care. And I'm kind of impressed by the audacity here. She was arrested protesting outside of Mitch McConnell's congressional office when the GOP was attempting to overturn the Affordable Care Act. She brought a coffin to the protest. So she's been fighting for marriage equality, LGBTQ rights, healthcare, and even more. And the last person I gave you a little bio of is Arthur Altmeyer. And I apologize, there is a typo in that little worksheet. It says he was born in DePere, Wisconsin in 1981. It was 1881. It was 1881. And Arthur Altmeyer was the mastermind behind the design and the implementation of Social Security in the U.S. So he started in Wisconsin as a workers' rights compensation lawyer. And he moved on under Franklin D. Roosevelt's administration during the Great Depression for the creation. He drafted the executive order that would create the Committee for Economic Security, which would later become the Social Security Act of 1935. And he would be on the board from the very beginning. And he actually led the board for several years. And while he led the board, he advocated constantly for an expansion of Social Security to include more and more people. So he advocated to consider retirement, family dependence, short-term disability, things like that. And he stayed in that role from 1935 until 1953, when the newly elected Congress, the newly elected conservative Congress, refused to confirm his reappointment. And from there he said, well, okay. And he moved on to the United Nations, where he helped other countries create their own Social Security programs. So there's more. There's more in these little worksheets that I've handed out for you guys. And so right now, I invite you to get in your small groups, maybe read a little bit more and talk about their different missions. And the questions I want you to think to yourself: which one of these missions do I connect the most with? How did their missions affect me now? What missions still affect me now? And what missions do you want to dedicate yourself to? So for the rest of service, and I want to give us a good 5 or 10 minutes, I just want you to talk about it amongst yourselves before we move on. And we're not going to share it with each other just yet. We're going to save that for talkback. But I want to give you time to read a little bit more in these short bios. Maybe look them up a bit on your phone if you're feeling adventurous. But think about their missions and think about yours. What do we want to dedicate ourselves to as individuals and as a church? Please take this time to consider these wonderful, wonderful people and yourselves. All right. I want to give everybody another minute to wrap up their discussions. And then we are going to end the service so we can move on to talkback and talk about it all together. All right. I hate if I'm interrupting anybody, but let's save the rest of those thoughts for talkback. All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating in these small group discussions. And I will happily talk about this more once we're finished with the service and take our break and come back from talkback. But right now, I do want to close us off. And again, thank you for participating. I do want to wrap up the service. Carol, you want to take it away?
In the spring of 2021, UUCOC added a second covenant to our weekly worship service. Our Widening the Circle of Concern, that is WCOC, work takes its name from an in-depth UUA study that was published in 2020 and with which we have been actively engaged ever since. The words of this covenant are in your order of service and will also appear on the screen behind me. We, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff, commit ourselves to the study and dismantling of racism and oppression within our congregation. We commit our congregation and ourselves to the work of anti-racism and anti-oppression. We commit ourselves to listening, to learning, and to action. When we fail, we commit ourselves to trying again and again. We covenant to begin this work and to continue until all of us can truly say that we are a beloved community of justice, equity, and compassion. The gifts you make to our weekly offering or through your annual pledge represent far more than lines on a spreadsheet. Your contributions are a tangible commitment to the mission and vision of this congregation. The offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. Members, if you are contributing cash toward your pledge, please use an envelope from the basket and write your name on it. To text your donation, see the number on your order of service. For more options, see oakcliffuu.org/donate. Into the World Singing by Dawn Shea Cooley. Let us go into the world singing. Let us go into the world singing songs that proclaim liberty, songs that turn ashes into garlands, songs that bind up the afflicted and those who mourn, songs that, like oaks, have roots that go deep and stand strong. Let us go out into the world singing. We know these songs. They vibrate through time in our very souls. They are the songs that give us life. They are the songs that give us meaning. They are the songs that give us purpose. Now, it is our turn to take these life-giving songs out into the world. Let us go now singing these songs with voices deep and strong. And may the world join us in praise and in celebration and in love. Amen.
We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along.
We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying till we all can get along, till the world can sing our song. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting, shouting right from wrong, till the world can sing our song. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear our song, till the world can sing along.
Be true, be well, be loving. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Be strong, be well, be true, be loving. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Extinguimos esta llama para no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.